Hi everyone, welcome back to another pick a card reading. This time we're doing what is happening in the month of March. Displayed before you, we have 4 piles, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is just going to be a fun collective reading. The reading may resonate, it may not, but this is for entertainment purposes. You can let me know, what's hitting, what's not, and how it ties in to the previous month, to this month. You can come back and let me know, what happened at the end of the month, if it hit, if it missed. I love to hear feedback and what you guys think of each reading. Today I'll be using the archetype cards to kind of tap into what energy do you guys need to embody for March 2025. What are you embodying, and what energy do you find yourself in that you can address alongside with just general things that are happening that are affecting the energy that you're embodying. Okay, so this is a really in-depth reading, but I hope you enjoy watching it. Hope it brings you some insight or some reflection that you feel like helps you guys. Okay, I don't have any other social media at this point in time. If you would like to purchase a personal reading, you can go to my Etsy shop. You can email me to inquire about a personal reading if you're interested in receiving one. Okay, I'm having a 40% off sale. All of my Valentine's Day limited time readings, and after March 16th they will be vaulted and then returned in February once again. Okay, so I'm really excited. Take all the time you guys need to look at these 4 piles here and tune into which one you want to pick. Sometimes I like to close my eyes, ask the question, what's happening this March, whatever the title is or the question for the pick a card. I like to close my eyes and to kind of see what comes up. Sometimes, specific numbers will come up. I feel called to them. I go to those numbers. They really resonate, So this is all about like practicing your intuition. Okay, I channel these for whoever picks them. So even if you pick a random one or you pick one based on one of these cute little figurines that I have here, like, it doesn't matter. If you like to pick based off color, go off of that. But yeah, just have fun with it. Take a deep breath, step back, take a few seconds, few moments to quiet your mind and see what comes up for you. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this reading. Okay, so for pile 1 we have the cute yellow kitty with glasses, very cutie pie. And we have this little shark kitty. Okay, he's so cute. He has these like little fins. We have Alyssa. She's this like cute little, I don't know what she is, but I just thought she was cute and she needed to be here. She's missing her hat. And then we have this little pink cute cat crab kitty. Okay, so we're keeping it cat themed today unintentionally. Well, I think this is a cat. I guess we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, these are the 4 piles. The timestamps are down below. Okay, if you guys chose pile 1, these are your cards. Let's get into, I pulled a lot of cards were like shooting out at me, and I thought that was a little crazy. So we have the Queen of Wands, the 7 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, the 2 of Cups, and the 9 of Wands here. We have Goodbye, Meditate, Hidden Agenda, and Lack of Passion. Okay, now the first thing I would say, the most obvious thing that's coming out to me here right now, I feel like there's a connection that you may have been trying to continue, trying to make it work, trying to push forward, trying to hold on to the connection, but you may be put at not a standstill. You maybe find yourself in a place where you're kind of trying to reflect on the situation and find what option is the best suited for you. You guys may be having difficulty exiting a situation because it seems like you're uncertain of something. With the 7 of Cups and hidden agenda, you may be missing crucial details that are going to help you make the decision that's best for you. But I kind of get with this spread here, with the 2 of Cups and the lack of passion, these other cards here, is that, especially with the 9 of Wands here, you're coming to your wit's end about the situation. You've tried to persevere, you tried to push through, you tried to keep going, you've endured so much, and it's kind of seems like you're at a point where you're tired and you're not ready how much further that you can go in this situation. You've been trying to make it work, you've been trying to hold on, and it kind of just seems like you're at this place where there's no longer any hope, or it's not even hope, it's more so like there's no progress, or there's no end in sight, and you can't see how the situation is going to turn out here. And so you're thinking about throwing in the towel and leaving this behind, but there's something holding you back from really stepping into this energy and making a decisive decision here. Okay, now some of you could be hiding this decision from somebody you care about, or maybe somebody is hiding this decision from you. Okay, and so the Seven of Cups, it feels like this needs to be challenged with the card Meditate here, is that there's so much going on and there's so much chatter externally and internally that you can't actually hear the intuitive nudges, or just look at this situation objectively to come to the solution or answer that you need to hear. Okay, so there's a need to kind of go within and shut out all of this noise, to quiet the mind, to quiet the opinion of others, so that you can get to a place where you can really hear what's going on within you and how this is impacting your outer life, your relationships, to make the best decision for you and to empower yourself to make the best decision for you. Because we end off here, it's the first card, which is the last card, with the Queen of Wands here, which is about confidence and self-assurance, and about doing what's best for you and doing what's best for others. She's a leader, and I take this as reigniting the passion that you lost. And I think that's a big thing for you guys too as well here, with lack of passion. Ending off with the Queen of Wands here, is it's time to reinvigorate, to re-spark that intense passion and that energy and that zest for life and that desire, to come back to a place where you're truly feeling like yourself again. Because it feels like through this whole storyline, it's like you're losing parts of yourself, or you're losing you're losing your energy, you know what I mean? Like you've gotten lost along the way here, and it's time to bring yourself back to you. For some of you though, the Seven of Cups here is really interesting. It kind of feels like there's something you're trying to escape. And I do feel like this could be one of the biggest things here I'm seeing is a relationship here. It feels like you guys are severely disillusioned this month. You can't see your right from left. It feels like when you when you realign yourself, you help yourself step into, I guess, the energy that you need. Because maybe some of you guys are very, once you make a decision, that's it. There's no turning back. But for some reason, you could say, for example, that the Seven of Cups energy, this uncertainty, this fantasy, this illusion over you guys, is making you guys be indecisive and uncertain about the direction. You're like, well, I'm usually very certain, like what's happening with me, and it's because your judgment is so clouded. Okay, and for others of you, it could be maybe you're someone who always knows, like you're great at you're solution oriented, you're creative, you can always, you're resourceful, like you can always find a way out of things, and you're just kind of find yourself at a hump here. And again, it stems back to the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Cups, is like wanting to deal with the problem, but you can't see the problem because there's been so much noise created that now you can't even see through this fog here. Like, see, like they're clouded, they're like super clouded, and they're struggling to find a way out here. This relationship could just be like, you've outgrown each other, you are no longer see eye to eye, it's time for this to close off, there's no more feelings. I don't feel like this is necessarily for some of you a super toxic, terrible relationship. It just feels like two people going their separate ways, or having to go their separate ways. For others of you, it does feel like more of a situation where like someone's hiding something from you, and that's not okay. So maybe in March 2025, you can see somebody pulls the wool over your eyes and they end the connection, and you're so confused. You're like, why did this happen? Why did they walk away? And it does feel like they were hiding something from you guys, and they may have been hiding. Maybe they seemed really into the connection, and then out of nowhere they just pulled away, or they ghosted, or they just disappeared, and you're like, what's going on? This person was hiding kind of their whole process, what they were feeling, what was happening. And so when it actually happened, you ended up really confused. The Seven of Cups and the Queen of Wands, somebody may have either, wanted to explore other options. They could have just found that you didn't align with them, that they couldn't make things work. Maybe some of you, if you're walking away from a connection, the Queen of Wands is all about protection. So some of you may have felt like you were protecting your energy, protecting your peace, protecting your happiness, protecting yourself, like physically even, or wanting to direct all of your energy towards yourself. And so this no longer was the move for you guys. So there's a lot of conflicting energies, and somebody is feeling left really confused. Okay, now what energy do you guys need to embody this month? Learning to transcend nature, learning the transcendence of nature, the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Okay, so with this, I would say that this end that's happening in March 2025, even if this isn't in regards to a relationship, it could be in the dissolvement of a friendship, of a partnership that is no longer working for you guys. It kind of seems like you might find yourself in a position where, you know, it's not the best outcome, but you guys are called to uplift yourself and kind of see this from a bigger picture of why it was necessary for this experience, this goodbye, to kind of come to fruition, because it was necessary, and it's important for you to kind of open yourself up to see why this could have been needed. Yeah, I feel like this month you're called to make sacrifices, to do things not just for your betterment, for the betterment of other people. I think that's the Queen of Wands, is like they're looking out for other people as well too here. The Nine of Wands is like you're helping yourself. Maybe this is something that you have to continue to push through, but this could also be something that you guys have been doing for a while now, and it could be that you're kind of tired of it. A pattern of giving yourself to a cause for the benefit and betterment of others, regardless of the consequences. You know, I think this is like talking about aligning yourself and standing up for your beliefs and your values. I think maybe this connection could be taking away from yourself as well too. Maybe this connection is also not beneficial for another person around you as well as you. And so that's why it's important to kind of make the sacrifice that you know that's gonna suck and it's gonna hurt, but in the end it's better for everybody involved that this happened, you know. So maybe you know that it's over, the other person is still trying to hold on, or maybe you're still trying to hold on, but you guys know that this is over. It's like, don't hold on to it, let it go for your own sake and for their sake, so that healing can occur and that the two of you can realign to higher, I want to say like alignment. So, you know, before you guys were trying to hold on to things that was kind of over, and now it's like you're trying to align yourself with you know, people or experiences that are more aligned with where you're at. Maybe the two of you were just at different places, and you know, you were kind of on different paths. Okay, so what energy are you embodying this month? Okay, so it seems like you guys are going to be doing it. Refine your capacity to help those who you would prefer to ignore. Okay, so like I said, some of you guys, it feels like there's a mixture of like people who are like ending on good terms, and then there's people ending not on good terms. It seems like this month though that you're going to be able to step into this energy of helping others, and I want to say self-sacrifice. I don't feel like you're called to make huge sacrifices, but like I do get that it is important to put whether or not you like somebody aside to do what you know is right, or do you know what is in everyone's greatest interest, and your greatest interest in the betterment of others. So as difficult as it could be, it seems like you're not choosing to ignore the issues or ignore problems with other people, and you're kind of putting your best foot forward and kind of making that sacrifice that is needed for the better. Now, what energy can you pull yourself out of here? We have the Lover, obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion here. This kind of makes sense when we see the lack of passion here, and we see an obsessive passion that helps other people. It kind of seems like the passion when it comes to yourself is not there anymore, or it's less, or you're getting it through different means, but it's not fueling you as much as you think or as much as you actually require. And so with the Lovers here, it kind of feels like you guys may be in love with somebody, or really want to hold on to this connection, and it's no longer helping you, and it's no longer beneficial for other people. Okay. And all this passion and flame that you're directing towards this situation is taking away from yourself, and is taking away from your growth, from your fulfillment. And it's leaving you stuck within a cycle where you keep trying to make things work. You keep trying to push through. You keep trying to find solutions. You keep trying to keep them happy. You're sacrificing so much of yourself, but in an unhealthy way. And it's going to be causing problems, because self-destructive devotion means that this is later on going to affect you really poorly. And if this person decides to check out while you're in love with them, it feels like your heart is gonna end up breaking, and it's not gonna be helpful to anyone. And this heartbreak could take you down like a dark path, or just being in a really dark place, which is where this lack of passion kind of comes in and falls into the place. So again, it's great to be loyal. I do feel like there's a need to self-sacrifice a little bit, but it's at the betterment of others, not at the expense of others and the benefit to let's say like obsession, to want to keep somebody around. You know what I mean? So I think that there's a need to kind of balance it out, and to do things that that aren't going to hurt you in the long term. So if you notice somebody's pulling away, if you're feeling like you and somebody aren't connecting, or they've been giving you the signs, or if they've walked away, this is kind of like a sign to kind of continue to let them go and let them do what they need to do, so that you can make peace in the situation with yourself, and then you can find your way back to this Queen of Wands here, where you can kind of find some realignment with yourself here. I feel like this is a strong message to let go, to let things be, for the betterment of everyone, and to see things from a different perspective. Even though it hurts right now, think about in the long term. You're going to meet somebody who is going to be aligned with you, who's going to make you happy, and who's going to bring you peace of mind, rather than making you feel like you have to jump through all of these hoops, that you have to chase them down, that you have to give everything you have to, and kind of let that go. Okay. And kind of redirect that passion towards that other person back towards yourself here. Okay. Now, when this ending occurs, it does kind of feel like some of you guys are going to be really down in the dumps. This passion that was directed towards somebody else may like flounder completely, and so you no longer have the energy towards yourself as well too. And this is a time where you kind of have to focus on yourself and focus on realignment, kind of see things from a different perspective, meditate, take care of yourself, self-care, treat yourself, uplift yourself, surround yourself with people who uplift you, and who are going to make you feel like you matter to, and you're going to get this energy of like they love you and they care about you. I feel like this Two of Cups in the upright is also an indicator that it is helpful to overcome this period of time through your connections with other people as well too. Okay, to overcome this lack of passion. And that's when the lack of passion, you say goodbye to that, and you step back into this Queen of Wands, this fiery, beautiful, charismatic, energetic energy, personality, this person. What does this chart for here? What do we have? A lot of cards came out for you guys, and I felt like it never wanted to end. We have Harvest, family issues, love yourself, memories, take a trip, community, and balancing act in the reverse. It feels like a lot of stuff is going on for you guys. We have the Ace of Cups, the Hermit, the Two of Wands in the reverse, the World, and the Nine of Cups here. Okay, guys, so much is happening this month here with community, with take a trip, with family issues, with harvest. There's so much going on here, but it seems like a very beautiful month. It seems like there's so much going on that is able to help you grow as a person, to experience emotional fulfillment. But there is a need. The first thing I want to say is there's a huge need to take care of yourself here. With the Ace of Cups, this is all about self-care. With love yourself, that's about nurturing yourself. With the Hermit card, that's about nurturing the mind and aligning yourself with your inner truth, with authenticity. Okay, so it feels like this month it may be a challenge because there's so much going on in balancing act in the reverse, and the Two of Wands in reverse shows that there's an instability within your plans, within decision making, within what's happening around you, and there may be a lot of things that you have to juggle this month that are hard to plan and hard to organize because you may not see all of it coming. Some of it does with memories and take a trip. It feels like some of these things were planned, but other things may happen. So like on this trip or during these plans, you may experience some issues with the people around you that throws plans out of whack. So you guys may feel overwhelmed by all of that stuff, okay? With the Harvest and the Nine of Cups, I'm seeing by the end of this month, though, you guys are experiencing some type of wish fulfillment that you've been hoping for. It feels like this is a final thing. With the World and the Nine of Cups here, maybe you've always wanted to go on your trip. You finally are able to go on that trip. Maybe on that trip you want to experience something. You want to meet somebody. You want to discover a new place, make a new friend. It feels like you're going to experience emotional fulfillment in regards to a goal, but it's as soon as it's completed, like it's done, the cycle's closed, everything's finished. It's something small, but it's something cute. With community here, I'm taking that as family issues. So the people around you, there could be some issues with it. This could also mean work. I would take the Ace of Cups as also as like meeting somebody, because the Ace of Cups can be new love, new connection. So I feel like maybe you may have a one-off conversation with somebody that really makes you think. Maybe, you're making a new friend, you're expanding your horizons, you're experiencing something new with somebody. But it feels like with the Fountain is that you're extending yourself, or you're extending your world here, and you're opening yourself up to different things here. Now, with the issues that are kind of going on here, it kind of seems like there's a need to be gentle and kind with yourself. Other people may be pushing a certain narrative on you. They may be pushing too many obligations and responsibilities on you guys. And so some of you may feel pushed to, meet these obligations and these requests. And some of you may feel like it's not your issue, or it's not your problem, or it's not supposed to be on your plate. They need to deal with it, but it's impacting your plans as well. It's impacting your situation here. So I feel like there's a need to disconnect yourself from some of these issues, or what these issues mean. They may cause you to, come back into feelings of worthlessness, or questioning if you're good enough, or making you criticize yourself, So there's just like a negative kind of voice going on here that's reinforced. I'm just saying that because I see love yourself and family issues and the Hermit card. So there's a need where like to give yourself some type of compassion, and to go within and discover that something is, that there's more to a situation, there's more to a statement, or a critique that you have for yourself or someone else has for you than what meets the eye. And there's a need to go within and quiet yourself from the noise so that you can discover what that is here. With the Hermit and family issues and community balancing act, it kind of seems like there's a need to be alone sometimes. So this month you may have to take it to maybe get away from, some issues. And don't feel bad about needing to withdraw from a situation and needing to take space, and letting people know like, hey, like I can't be involved in this right now. Like I need to take care of myself, or just letting people know like, hey, like I'm going to be disappearing for a bit, whatever works for you guys. What you guys are probably going to end up doing. And it feels like this is all being figured out through the month of March, or at least maybe into April, but it feels like through March. For some of you, this could have been happening in February and it's finally resolved in March. It feels like these issues and this lack of balance and this instability is going to come to a complete close. So it's going to end really quickly. And when this closes out, it's going to bring you some type of fulfillment. So if everything was chaotic and you were having a lot of, issues before, and you're like, I just want to have a good trip, it seems like all of these issues are going to be resolved. You guys are going to have a fantastic time. You're not going to have to worry about all of these things. Everybody's going to get along, and you're just going to experience this enjoyment, this harvest, being able to just kind of free yourself from worries and free yourself from all the hustle and bustle of the day today and not have to worry about all of that stuff. Okay, so this, whatever challenges you're going to go through, it seems like they're gonna kind of come to a close pretty quickly. And if this is something you've been like, let's say you have two family members, or you and a family member are constantly like bickering and arguing or disagreeing over certain things, I'm feeling like the World card, this could indicate that small squabbles could come to a close. So you may notice that maybe moving forward, you don't really end up in certain squabbles, or you don't end up in disagreements with this person anymore, or at least as much, or a certain topic is no longer on the table anymore. It seems like one final resolution is finally coming into play, where you guys no longer have to worry about these things. Okay, they become a memory, they become in the past. But also it seems like you guys will be making a lot of memories, and there's going to be some type of travel that's going to happen, whether it be small, whether it be on a plane, whether it be, you know, just going downtown for a small outing. You guys are, there's something that you guys are doing that is bringing something to a close and bringing a sense of unity and community that was really hard to navigate before, but that now you feel a lot better about. Okay, so what energy are you called to embody? The warrior. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice is in conquering the ego here. Okay, not letting other people get the best of you, not letting other people kind of take jabs at you and then you take jabs at them, and not allowing yourself to be involved in petty situations, in emotional outbursts. Maybe somebody is prone to trying to ruffle your feathers and to get a reaction out of you, but this month you're saying, no, you know what, I've been through this before, I've done this with you so many times, I can keep myself in check and not let you affect me and how I feel and how I act. Okay, yeah, so there's a need to kind of stay strong here and to have a sense of self-control in the face of, I want to say, other people presenting difficulty. I'm also getting delirious, like somebody's delirious. We also have mentor here. So maybe somebody's throwing a lot of BS at you and you're so over it. Or maybe they're not in the right state of mind, so it's difficult because, you know, you need to have compassion for this person, or that, you know, they're not saying everything in the best place, you know, they're not in the best place, but it hurts nonetheless. Now, what energy will you guys be embodying? Passing on the wisdom and refining a student's character. I feel like some of you guys may be giving guidance to somebody who needs it. So you guys may be helping somebody out this month, okay? So like I said, it seems like somebody is going to give you information, or you can give somebody information that is going to assist them. For some of you guys, it can be something really small. For some of you, it could seem small, but it can have a bigger part to play with the Hermit. Like the Ace of Cups is very surface level, it's very sweet. So like maybe somebody gives you like some type of compliment, or they recommend you something, or they're like, oh, I have that problem, I do this. When you go within and reflect on the situation, you may come to find out that this sweet sentiment that they had has something much deeper underneath it. Maybe they compliment you on your insecurities and it makes you feel better, and when you go in and you reflect, you really realize the depth of that insecurity and how it's affecting you and holding you back from your life, and how you can be more compassionate, sweet, and nurturing to yourself. This could be something as sweet as like somebody points something out to you that you never realized you do, and so there's like this moment of self-discovery happening here, where you're learning more about yourself in ways that you didn't realize before. Okay, so what is the negative energy that you're stepping into this month? Embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. Okay, so some of you guys may be offering advice to somebody, but it's really just to help you. I don't think that this is super negative, to be honest. It doesn't have anything to do with the energy you're supposed to embody. Oh, wait. Okay, I take that back. Okay, so with the shadow card here, I feel like this month you guys could be you're trying to fix a problem through telling someone what to do, but there's like a double meaning, or there's a underlying, there's like a hidden agenda to the guidance that you're giving here. So just be mindful of what type of guidance you're giving, and if this is for everybody or if this is just for you. And to not, I think there's like some self-control aspect in here, which is like not backing the wrong horse. and doing things I feel like that align with your values, okay? Because the Advocate in the upright inspires you to put compassion into action, okay? To stand up for your beliefs, to stand up for things that are right here. And I feel like you guys may find yourself maybe wanting to embrace things that aren't super beneficial for you guys, okay? With the Two of Wands, maybe, like I said, somebody can get under your feathers, and you know, maybe there's a way to be petty to get back at them, and you might be thinking of taking it this month, but it may be better not to, because like it could lead to more issues later on down the line, and so it's better not to do that. Yeah, I'm getting somebody being like, no, like don't cause problems. Maybe that's why, maybe some of you guys may want to protect your trip, and so you may be telling somebody like, no, don't do that, because you know it's gonna cause problems, okay? I do feel like there's a positive and negative this here though, because I feel like some of you guys might find a balanced approach where you're able to give somebody advice, but it's not necessarily for personal gain. It's to kind of help them, because you know it's not going to be beneficial for them. So it's like on one aspect, yeah, like there's a hidden kind of thing, but it's not entirely negative. It just kind of feels like there could be like more balance to it, okay? So some of you guys may be like, don't say anything, because it's going to ruin the trip. And then, you know, what happens is that it's going to end up blowing up eventually. So maybe somebody needs to say something here too, but it could be all about the way that they say it. So some of you guys may be able to advise this person, you know what I mean? But I do feel like there's like a kind of message here that regardless if things are going to happen how they happen, so you guys may decide like not to say anything, or you know, but if I feel like I feel like it's not really a big deal though. I'm not going to say that this is super negative, because it feels like you guys with the Advocate and the Mentor, you're saying what needs to be said, or you're saying something that is going to help somebody else in the end here, okay? Even if you're saying it because you don't want problems or it benefits you, you're still saying something to somebody else that is helping them, okay, to navigate a situation or to deal with somebody else and something else going on here, whether it benefits you or not, okay? Maybe some of you guys are like, yeah, I do that because you're being petty, and it's like, no, if you're being petty, or like, again, don't do it. Like, I feel like you're encouraged not to do anything like that here. If you're trying to convince someone else to do something for you, I'm not sure how well that's going to turn out here, because with family issues, it does feel like some type of plan or organization is thrown completely off whack. So you may need to be mindful of that. For pile 3, we have here the Four of Pentacles, Temperance, the High Priestess, the Four of Swords in the reverse, the Hanged Man, and the Strength card. Okay, a lot of cards came out for you, and I felt like they wanted to keep coming out. So it feels like there's a lot of stuff happening for you guys this month. We have positive energy, love beginning, fresh start, assert yourself, spring equinox, commitment coming, let it go. There's so many cards here, I'm gonna miss. Let it go, winter solstice, desiring reconnection. You're trying to hold on to something, but you know what needs to happen. And you may be finally making the decision, or this is the lead up to making the decision of doing what you guys know you have to do. Because of the Four of Swords in the reverse, this is about being in your head, about not overthinking, not being able to calm the mind, not being able to rest. And this Hangman is in this period where you feel like you're floating, you can't do anything. What do? You're kind of like, you're in a moment of pause, either forced on by circumstance or intentional pause here, because you're not sure what's going on and how to move forward from it here. Yeah, it seems like you guys know you need to let go of something. You know you need to let go of something, but you don't want to. You don't want to let go. Maybe some of you guys want this to continue. You desire reconnection. Okay, this is very different. A lot of you, this feels like love, and for some of you, it feels like new love is not able to come in because you're holding on to a past love and you keep wanting it to come back, but it's not coming back, which is bringing away from you particular like love options that are trying to have some type of beginning with you guys, and you guys aren't taking it. So you feel like this person is coming in, but then you're too busy holding on to the past, and you know you need to reconcile it, but you don't want to, or you're having trouble releasing it. For some of you guys, it kind of feels like somebody came in and then they disappeared, and then you want them to come back here. Like, for some people, it feels like somebody's like on and off. Like, it starts, it stops, and then you want it to restart, and it just kind of goes like a ping pong back and forth kind of thing here. And this is bringing an issue of love not being able to kind of come in because you won't let go of this back and forth that you have with somebody else. For some of you guys, it could be a connection that you've been holding on to is kind of coming back around, and it's going to be a fresh start, but you have to lay down, I feel like, set boundaries, or you have to kind of acknowledge the issues of the past in order for the reconnection to occur. I don't think that that's very many of you, though, because that's literally the last thing that I saw. So I wouldn't, Plus it says let go, desire, reconnection, commitment coming. You need to let go. Somebody in your past could be making, that's what it is, guys, for you guys. Somebody in your past could be making their round back to you, and it's time to let it go, because they may be offering some type of commitment, but I feels like they're offering the same thing before, and they're trying to convince you that it's something different. And that's why it's important to assert yourself and to be like, I'm not interested in handling this anymore. But it really has you overthinking, because you may think that this is it. This is the time that you can make things work. This is the time to move forward with them. You can finally have that beginning you've been hoping for. You can have the closure you've been hoping for. This is where the healing occurs. Let it go. Let it go. Let it come and then let it go. This is all part of your journey to overcoming here, okay? But this is a part of your past, not a part of your future. Okay, so in March, it seems like it's all about love, and it's all about balance, and it's all about quieting the mind. It seems like you guys need to rest and heal from this situation. A lot of these cards talk about healing and about rebalancing yourself and realignment. And the Four of Pentacles, you're so busy trying to hold on to something that nothing new can grow, nothing new can flourish. I feel like it's time to kind of set boundaries with yourself, kind of lay down the laws to yourself about what you need and about what's going on here. Because the High Priestess to me tells me that you guys do have a feeling of like, I know what I need, and you guys need to kind of push yourself to do it. And with the Strength card here, this could be that you notice towards the end of March that you're ready to kind of tell yourself and to kind of push yourself into a new direction here, into letting this situation go. But I do feel like for some of you guys, you could be repeating this old pattern. So this could flow into April and start all over again. Okay, so for some of you guys, be careful, because I feel like you're gonna end up thinking that this is a new cycle, and then nothing's in the past is gonna repeat, and this is a fresh start. And then you're gonna end up realizing that you need to let it go, because nothing's really changed, and it's time to bring something new in, and stop holding yourself back from experiencing a positive new beginning. I do feel like for some of you guys, you're finally gonna be able to help yourself release an ex. Release some type of past experience here, something that you've been holding on to that's been holding you back from love. And it feels like you may even discover this High Priestess and the Four of Swords. You may be discovering it, but there could be a lot of overthinking. This gives to me the process of thought, kind of like leading up to the Hermit, where this realization is happening. You may notice a pause where nothing really is occurring, and the reason why nothing is occurring is because there's some type of truth and discovery that you're coming to, but there's a lot of overwhelm and overthinking happening around it here. So if you're like, oh my god, I have been coming to a realization and it's been causing me a lot of stress and anxiety, I do feel like you haven't gone to the core of that realization of what it means yet. But once you do, that anxiety will filter out, because you're going to just be left with that truth, and it could bring you a lot more, allow you to be more compassionate with yourself. It may be a truth that you don't have to overthink, or that doesn't overwhelm you here, but you're still in the midst of discovering it, guys. So you haven't gone there yet. So if you're overthinking and freaking out, I feel like some of you guys do need to kind of take heed and kind of cut yourself off of how much you think and how far you allow yourself to go, because you can get lost in this High Priestess here. You can get lost in the darkness, and I feel like it's about balancing it out here, okay? With the Temperance here, this is about moderation. And so it feels like sometimes you guys need to pull yourself out before you get in too deep. Because of this Hangman, if he's in too deep, he's drowning. So there does need to be a pause. Yeah. But as you discover this, guys, and you actually come to the realization which I don't feel like will be like, maybe for those who are going through this, it won't be right now, but when you do, it's going to lead to this whole new beginning with somebody else here. I do feel like there's somebody new trying to come in for you guys, but you're hesitant to go towards them because you fear the past. You're holding on to the past. You're stuck on the past, or you're in the process of letting that past go. It feels like some of you are going to have the courage to do something that before you weren't sure you can do. And that's why you were in this hangman. You were overthinking. You're like, I don't know if I can do this. By the end of the month, it seems like you're going to be in a place where you're ready to do what you need to do. Guys, there's so many major arcana here, so this feels like a big moment for some of you guys, okay? So if this is for regards to love, it feels like if this is something that has been overtaking your mind for months, years, it feels like this is you guys. Like there's some type of huge change you guys are finally going through, and this has been a long time coming, a long time building up, and you're right at that edge of it before all of this new stuff can begin. Okay, so we have the winter solstice and spring equinox. Now winter is passing over here, but for some of you guys, if you're somewhere else, it feels like the next solstice, equinox, or whatever, there's a major, I feel like there's a trial, but it feels like there's a major milestone point coming for you guys here on your journey. Okay, the soul journey here is coming, where all of this is going to come to a head and finally close itself out. For some of you, new love is coming in, but you're hesitant to accept it, and you're not sure if you can go forward with it. You're overthinking everything because you're still holding on to the past. So you might see signs within a new person that you're like, oh, I dealt with this in my past. I don't know if I can do this. You're very hesitant. You're not wanting to make any sudden movements. But through this, you're discovering that what you're seeing is actually you holding on to the past rather than your past existing within somebody else, okay? And kind of open yourself up to that. Just because somebody does something that somebody else did doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to do you the way someone from your past did. Which is interesting because I feel like a lot of the times, you know, the red flags that you see are reminders of like, don't end up in the situation again. But I feel like in this case, it's not really about that. It's about differentiating, you know? So it could be the red flags or the signs that you're seeing aren't the indications of, aren't a good indication. Like they're not real red flags, or they're not a proper indication of like a toxic or negative person for some of you guys. So this could be like, I'm trying to think of an example. It could be like even like a stereotype, like, oh, this type of person, people who like this are like that. And my ex was like that, and they turned out to be like this, and they were a really negative person. It's like, okay, like that's not really the red flag that you think it is. And just because they're into this, or they like this, or they do this thing that this other person did, doesn't necessarily mean that they're that type of person. Kind of, I'm having trouble thinking of an example. But that's kind of what I'm getting, you know? So some of you have to like open up, you know? Maybe they could have, like, let's say your person before, like, they love to argue or they always disagreed, and now you're meeting somebody who disagrees with you, you know, from time to time, and you're like, oh, this is my other person did, they always want to convince me that they're right and I'm wrong, blah, blah, blah. You may actually come to discover that although your person disagrees, they may actually do it in a healthier way, and they're not the same as that other person. So they may not be doing it as like they're challenging you, or they're putting you down, or they think you're wrong, but they may just like to be somebody who likes to debate, or who likes to discuss, or who's very passionate, who's very like something different than what you think it is, okay? And so your person or past baggage has clouded you from seeing the truth in a situation that you're going to be discovering later on, okay? That maybe someone isn't who you really think they are. So the energy that you're called to embody, the saboteur, highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your own life. Okay, again, yeah, some of you guys are like sabotaging your romantic relationships and the romantic potential of these things blossoming. It feels like the energy you're called to embody is the energy to address these issues, to see where your fear is holding you back, to see where your lack of self-worth and that belief that you deserve something and that you are worthy is impacting your ability to achieve happiness and emotional fulfillment and confidence and all of that stuff. So I feel like some of you guys are not realizing how these things impact your overall life. Like if some of you are struggling and you're like, I haven't been able to find love, I haven't been able to find friends, I haven't been able to find, you know, success or ideas or all of this stuff, it feels like there's something in that you're doing that is sabotaging yourself from being able to discover these things, okay? And this month you guys are coming to some realizations about it, or you're beginning to. So for some of you guys, it could have you really down in the dumps, overthinking, overwhelmed, judging yourself, because you're starting to discover what it is, okay? But once you actually discover what it is, it feels like you're going to be able to deal with it more head on. Because sometimes when we have like a half truth, it causes a lot of overwhelm and overthinking within us, because we know that something about it is right, but maybe the way that it's said is wrong to ourselves. Like, you know. So it's kind of discovering the deeper truth that lies within that. Okay, discovering deep exploration of the things that we don't want to look at and the things that kind of freak us out, but that will ultimately bring us into a more alignment with ourselves and bring us into balance and empower us to have the strength to do things that we know we need to do, that we should do, and to bring that new us into the physical, to kind of create a happier, more fulfilling life. So yeah, it feels like there's changes, there's this discovery here, okay? And with the Prince, romantic charm and potential for power, it feels like some of you guys are stepping out of your comfort zone. You're like, oh, I know I need to get a romance, I know I need to explore something new, I'm going to try. I do feel like well, the first thing I want to say is I don't know if the new person coming in is like the one. So I don't feel like there should be a focus on longevity or making things work. This might be about expanding your horizons and opening your heart back up to love, because it does feel like there's new opportunities, but I'm not sure how long those opportunities are for. So romantic charm and potential for power. It feels like you guys are going to be opening yourself up to these new experiences and trying to get out there. So what is the negative aspect of this? But I want to say that this is a good energy to kind of start with, because it's pushing yourself out. But again, make sure that you're not avoiding this energy, okay? That you're not avoiding these, I guess, acknowledging how you're getting in your own way, and you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go like try to meet somebody else instead of having to do the inner work. Like, I'm just gonna try something new because I feel like that's what I need. The negative aspect I'm seeing here is shapeshifter. So projecting an image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. Okay, this is kind of what I'm getting with the Prince too. So you guys have like a mixture of it. Like, is it good, but it also has some challenges here. It seems like you guys may be pretending or putting out a facade or projecting a certain image. Maybe you're anxious and you're acting way more confident, and it could be a little bit exaggerated. So I feel like this is a callback to come back to yourself. This is a callback, because the more you continue to project this image, you may find yourself more disconnected, aligning with the wrong people, not being able to achieve the things that you want. Yeah, it starts off working really well. You have this like charm, you're able to present this image, but it's not really what you want in the end here, okay? So again, I think this energy too is like projecting a different image. It comes back to this saboteur here, where you're like holding back a part of yourself here that needs, I feel like, instead of holding that part back or hiding that part of yourself, it needs to be brought kind of to the forefront, to be acknowledged with, to be dealt with, kind of like integrated, kind of discovered more deeply. Maybe you guys hide parts of yourself that you don't like because of your personal judgments and criticisms, or judgments that people have given you in the past, and it's time to kind of come and see the truth, okay? Because some of you guys may not like a certain part of yourself, and then, you know, later on in life you may realize that that part that you didn't like is a part that you should embrace, because it's not negative as maybe you've been conditioned to believe, or that it feels like people have pressured you or like judged you for, and now you believe this like this about yourself here. You know, maybe some of you guys are into certain things that you may feel like are weird, or maybe some of you guys, like, you're really bubbly and you're really energetic, and other people are always telling you, like, chill, like, relax. Or maybe some of you are like to be quiet, but people are always making you feel bad for the fact that you're quiet. And so that some of you guys need to kind of find the acceptance and the peace to just be who you are. But there's so much worry about doing that here. So it feels like you're kind of going on this journey to kind of discover these new parts of yourself and integrate them. And it feels like this was what's gonna help you align and bring in love as well. Yeah, I feel like by the end of this month, you can be really starting. There's a huge cutoff here, but like it feels like you're really starting to find your way. And you're kind of it feels like you're letting go of these notions and these ideas to empower yourself and find strength. So by the end of the month, you can try new things and discover this part of yourself with less judgment. Okay, so this is a very beautiful month for you guys. I'm really proud of yourself. You're really proud of yourself. Proud of you guys. It's a huge thing. And it's a hard thing to do. Especially when you have other people who have judged you in the past and you have that thing that people are pushing on you. If you chose pile 4, this is pile 4. This is for you. We have the 8 of Wands. Actually, no, we have the Lovers. We have the Lovers. We have the 8 of Swords, and we have the 8 of Wands here. There's a lot of movement, guys. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of fear. Oh, we have ending. We have confusion. We have try again. Think it through. More info needed and ask for help. Okay, guys, so it feels like with more info needed, there's a lot of different situations playing out for different people watching this. So some people, this message is for love. Some people, this is for family, friends, work, career, spirituality, hobbies. Like, there's like so many different things kind of coming out here with more info needed, at least to me. It feels like confusion and anxiety here. There's uncertainty around something. You guys are having trouble dealing with something. You need to reach out for help. It also feels like the Ace of Swords. This confusion and anxiety is due to a lack of information that you have. And you may need to communicate with someone else to help you figure things out this month. And guys, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't think you have to do this all alone. Don't think it's all on you. Even if someone told you guys, like, you have to figure out this yourself, you have to do this yourself, you don't. And I feel like it's better that you don't. Okay? So it feels like when you guys ask for help and you take the time that you need to, it feels like somebody else is going to come out and help you guys figure this situation out. It's going to help you to move past it and make actual progress forward. But you may find yourself stuck in this like victim mentality, in this kind of negative space. Where you're like, oh, there's nothing I can do, or feeling helpless and powerless. No. It feels like if something ended and it went, like, if this has to do with like a test or a job or an interview or some type of thing you guys were trying to do and it didn't work out, it feels like this isn't the actual end. I'm getting confused though. The first thing I want to finish that thought is, it feels like it's not the actual end and there's another opportunity to redo it, okay? Whether this be like, maybe it was, your midterms, or maybe it was one exam. There are other things going on. There are other opportunities, other possibilities, and this is not over. So don't let this get you down, because there are ways to move forward and there are ways to get to your goal, even though maybe the first or the second mark didn't go very well, okay? There are other jobs out there. There are other connections. It's not over if this is with a friendship or a person, you know what I mean? There's going to be more opportunities later on. The ending and confusion makes me think that some of you guys, something hasn't gone well, something is closed out, but you're not sure why. Okay, and so you're struggling, and you're really thinking that this is about you, or you're thinking you've messed up everything, or you suck. All of these things, it feels like there's like a negative sphere around you, and it's generating, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so there's a confusion, but what you guys need to understand is, again, this is not the end. And you may think that this is all about you, but it may have nothing to do with you. And that's why that there's another opportunity. But with Think It Through and more info needed, you guys may not have had enough information in order to succeed and move forward with this situation here, or why this situation closed out the way that they did. For some of you, if you got ghosted and this is regards to love, or a love situation didn't work out, there's a reason it didn't work out that you can't see all of the, you may resonate with pile 2, that you may not see how everything played out and why it played out the way that it did. So you're super messed up about this. You're like, why? Somebody else outside of you may be able to give you the perspective that you need to see through this situation, see through this, and to actually think about it from a different perspective, which may actually help you. I'm seeing that once somebody else comes in, if this is in regards to love, and gives you this different perspective, it's going to help you move on and move forward. Because you guys are like battling something. You're like, is it this? Like, it was me. And they're like, no, it wasn't you, it was this. Or maybe they give you the information. You're like, I heard so-and-so with this, did this. And you're like, whoa, like, oh my gosh, like, I had no idea. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are missing something. If this is in regard to an interview, you may think like, oh, I bombed that interview. I did so terrible. Like, it sucked. Or I did so great in that interview. Like, why did that go wrong? Like, I did really well. And you may find out through information put out, through somebody else, through another source. Or you're hearing this here and like, like it had nothing to do with that you bombed it or that, you weren't good enough or anything. There was some other situation kind of going on. So maybe you find out that somebody else had family connections or they networked and they, already had the job secured and that's why you didn't get it. Maybe they were looking for specific things that maybe you weren't on your resume or something. And so, it was more so that there was like a conflict that they needed more, and it had nothing to do with anything personally that you lacked, that you were terrible with your interview, that you weren't good enough or anything, and it just had to do with maybe something entirely different. So, it feels like you'll be able to try again. There may be more things that you need. You can ask for help and get this, but this isn't a personal failing, or this isn't a personal fault for you guys. If this has to do with, schoolwork or something, maybe you think somebody has it out for you, or maybe you thought you did really well, but you're not sure. Once you get the clarification, the information that you need as to why this happened or what was going on or what you can do now to move forward, it feels like you guys are going to be on a better track and you're going to be feeling a lot better. Okay. And maybe I'm getting, it's actually kind of funny. So somebody's laughing or somebody may laugh. Once you receive the information, you may be like, oh my, why didn't I see that? Like, why didn't I think about that? Why did I think about it like that? Like, oh my gosh, it seems so obvious now that I'm separate from the situation, but oh my gosh, it wasn't, it's like, it's kind of funny to look back on now. So I don't feel like this is going to be anything that's going to hold you guys back for too long. It feels like it's going to be something that some of you can laugh at later on here. Now, the only thing I didn't address here is the Lovers. Now, the Lovers has to do with situations where you have to make big decisions, but it also indicates relationships and friendships, like a blossoming connection here. They may be a connection that you're overthinking and that you may feel like it's coming to an end, but it's not coming to an end. Okay, it's not coming to an end. For some of you though, something did end. So if this is in a relationship, you're like worried, you thought you were really connecting, the situation ended, you're uncertain, you're confused, but I feel like you're encouraged to keep going, not to let this get you down. Okay, because just because you couldn't see how everything worked doesn't mean it was because of you. Maybe this person realized that they weren't over somebody. Maybe they realized that, work is super big and had nothing to do with you. Maybe you end up looking back at it and you're like, you realize like, whoa, me and this person really didn't align. Like, we were so different from each other. This would have never worked, So although it hurts that they cut it off, you're realizing that in actuality, it's better that this ended when it did, because there were more fulfilling things out there for you. And then once you do, this anxiety is alleviated and you guys can move forward. So the energy you're encouraged to embody inspires creative energy to embrace all the good things in life, celebrate the beauty in yourself. Okay, this is a beautiful thing for you guys, because you guys are in such a negative, overthinking, criticizing energy, like here going on here. This is what you're doing. It feels like you need to embrace the beauty within yourself and the beauty around you, because there are good things happening around you this month, but you're struggling to see them. Okay, and so you may need to, find different ways to see the positives. Okay, whether this is creating them for yourself, going out, pulling yourself out of that negative mind frame, those negative thoughts that are going through your mind, connecting yourself with other people who are going to help push you out of it. Okay, putting a different spin to maybe your perspective. Like if you think of something as super negative, try to like take a spin on it and how it can be positive. Maybe if something, you judge a certain part of yourself, maybe you're somebody who talks, like really fast, like I talk really fast. You can try to like, or have other people like help you see how these things can be you know, quirks, or how these things are cute, or how these things are sweet. Basically, look at the positives and the beautiful things in your life, because you are a beautiful magnetic soul. Humility, devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Okay, so it seems like you guys are, you may find yourself struggling to enter this energy. You guys may find yourself very focused on work and learning. Okay, so like I said, more info needed in student is if this has to do with work, school, hobbies, interests, ideas, connections. Like there's something you're trying to learn to overcome it. Okay, if this has to do with self-help or spirituality, you're trying to find the information that you need. You may be asking for help. You may be thinking things through more in depth until you can discover what it is. Okay, so you guys are devoted to that. There's a lot of learning, a lot of reading, a lot of thinking. The negative aspect that you're embodying this month: stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or others' powers that you think you lack. So this is what I'm saying, guys. You guys are really like critical on yourself, that you think you need this and you need that, you know, you're not good enough, and so you need to do maybe enter this in order to achieve something, and that's not the case. You guys don't need to do that. Okay, so I feel like you can gain these things on your own without having to use or take advantage of other people. Okay, so when it comes to, so I would say, like, be careful when it comes to taking ideas from others. All right, and using other people. Just be mindful, even though you may be doing it like, you're like, it's so small, or I just want to help myself. This may not be the best energy to be in, and it may just be better to continue to balance these two energies out, because you guys may be like, I'm really trying, I've been thinking everything through, I've been learning, I've been seeking this knowledge, I still can't get it. I feel like I have to go through this means. It feels like there could be like more balance needed between these two energies. Okay, between celebrating yourself. Sometimes when you're so critical of yourself and you're trying to learn something, you're trying to do something, you keep hitting all of these roadblocks. And it may be because you're putting way too much pressure on yourself, and that pressure is putting you into a box. And once you find that you can break out of this box through balancing out your personal perspective of yourself and your capabilities, you may be able to open yourself up to different ideas. It's like you're alleviating the pressure, you're opening up that box to discover new things and new avenues that are actually going to help you move towards your goals, versus just, you know, putting so much pressure on yourself, trying to do this one thing, and then having to feel like you have to go to negative means to achieve what you want and what you need. I feel like try again is really big here too. Try different things, try new ways, try different people, expand yourself. Don't limit yourself to one thing that you guys need to do to figure something out, or one person that you have to go for in order for things to be successful, for you to be happy. Okay, so yeah, I do feel like there is somebody who's gonna help you out though, and you need to be open to them without taking advantage. Okay, I feel like this is important. The reason why this is important is because it challenges this energy here. Stealing money, creative energy, ideas, affection, or powers you think you lack. When you see the beauty within yourself, you see that you don't lack anything, or at least there's this challenge presented to yourself where it's like, where you kind of see more of the positive things that you have, and you may not feel so much as a lack or the lack of capability, and there's less need to do this to achieve your goals, if that makes sense. Okay. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys take care. Let me know how that resonated. I hope you have a great day, and bye.